Hello and welcome back to Strongwoman High's Dash Life is a Mishmash. Today we have Strongwoman and design absolute goddess Sheridan Irvine joining the pod. I've absolutely stumbled that. It was because I think I've said your name wrong. Sheridan Irvine, innit?
No, you were right the first time. It's Sheridan
Irvine.
Irvine. Yeah, Irvine.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
loads of
hell.
people think Irvine because there's an E on the end.
Yeah.
But it's for the place name in Scotland of the same name, Irvine. So yeah,
Well, you learn something new every day. I've been calling you
there we go.
Sheridan Irvine, and literally, as I said it, I
Everybody
thought I've
does.
said that wrong, but then I haven't. I actually said it right the first time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's all gravy. I get it all the time. So.
Well, thanks for being on the pod, Sheridan. So, do you want to give a little bit of a brief elevator pitch introduction to who you are, what you're all about?
Cool. Yeah. So I am Sheridan Irvine, as we've established. So I started training the Strongwoman. Gosh, it's about 7 years ago now. I've actually stepped away from it about 2 years ago, but I still train all the time. It's still a huge part of my life. I just stepped away from competing, but I absolutely loved it. I think I was drawn in part to the absurdity of it, just as well as just lifting heavy things. But outside of that, I am a software engineer. I absolutely love what I do. I've been in software for 10 years, I think now. Proper landed on my feet, really love what I do. And outside of that, I enjoy drawing silly cartoons.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, massive nerd, as most people who know me are aware. And as you can see by the stuff I'm surrounded by, that's kind of it in a bit of a nutshell.
Hell yeah, we love it. I know
Yeah.
you're my logo lady, aren't you? Like every time I need something drawing or a logo, I'm like, Sheridan, help me.
Yeah, it's cool. It's hugely appreciated as well because I don't advertise it. It's just a bit of a side hustle I do, and I do it for fun. So it's mostly mates and like people who come to me through friends as well to do stuff, which is nice. It ticks over, and it's cool, and it's always usually quite fun. I often get some really fun ideas. Like most of the people who come to me come with some really fun, wacky ideas. Like one of the last ones I did was for Maria. I'm gonna butcher her surname.
Krasinska.
Krasinska. She asked me to do a flump drawing doing an overhead press, which I thought excellent, fantastic. I'll do that for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and some more serious ones, like I get to flex the creative muscle in more subtle ways as well, which is cool. But then my job as a software engineer is quite creative in different aspects as well, so I get to flex that muscle in a few different ways.
Class, yeah. You're
Yeah.
just a super creative person. I love that. And I love that you've found that little a niche area for doing people's logos and stuff like that. It's so cool. It's so handy to have somebody who can just be like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Just draw it and be like, there you go, magic.
Yeah.
And we won't get into it too much, but fuck me. I'd much rather come to you and say, can you draw me a logo like this than try and fucking sit on AI for fucking
Oh my
3 or
God.
4 hours while it does the wrong thing over and over again. Like, fuck
I
that, man.
I fucking hate AI in the arts. I cannot express to you just how much I loathe its use. Because art in all its forms, whether that's drawing, music, acting, whatever, writing, is an expression of your soul. And it sounds really fucking hippie for me to say that. And I don't give a shit. I'm not going to apologize for that because that's what it is. Asking
Yeah.
a computer to do something that's so intrinsically bound to your humanity is disgusting. Like, get the computer to do boring shit while you go away and create some art,
Hell yeah.
Um,
I'm
yeah.
totally with you on that. I will put a pre-warning on this that the more we diss AI, the more likely that this podcast is to crash. Only because I've done it before. I had Meg Latter on the pod the other week and we were talking about how AI is going to kill us all basically. And it just kicked us both off at one point and was like, no more of this. Goodbye. The internet was like,
No.
no more. We can hear you. We don't want you talking about that. So just a pre-warning. But yeah, I totally agree. I think it's just AI drawings and art, and it's always just a bit shit, isn't it?
It
Shit.
is. It is a bit shit. Like, you see these, and it's so easy to tell as well because they're incredibly polished. And something's got 6 fingers on one hand and 7 fingers on the other, and whatever else, it's dreadful. Like we use AI at work because obviously I'm a software engineer working in a tech environment, and there are things that we assign to AI to do, but it's always boilerplate stuff and boring shit that you don't want to do, and then that allows you and frees you up to go do the more important things. But you always check its work. Like you never just accept, oh, it's right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I will be the first to die in the uprising of AI. Like I absolutely will be, because I gaslit it once into thinking its maths was wrong. It's just I gave it a maths problem. It was a slow day. I gave it a maths problem, and it said, "Oh, this is the answer," and I went, "You're wrong." Try again, and it kept apologizing to me, just giving me the same answer and over again, because obviously it was right.
Oh no, just doing it for the sake of winding it up. I do quite like that though. We did, me and Jenny had done a similar thing where we'd asked ChatGPT to work out how long it would take a hamster to travel from someone's mouth out of their bum. And it really didn't like that, really didn't.
Yeah.
It kept saying it was like physically impossible, it would never happen. And we kept giving it more parameters and being like, yes, it is
Nice.
possible. How would it happen? And like by the end, even its responses were getting a bit sarky. You could tell it was done with us. It was like, stop asking me these ridiculous shit questions. And I was like, never AI. This is what you're here for.
Yeah. I'll say please and thank you the rest of the time, and I'm like, oh, will you just do this little task for me, please?
Yeah.
So hopefully that offsets it, but maybe my death will be quick at least. So.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, it's probably going to kill me, but you always say please and thank you just in case, just to make sure. We're not savages, are we? Like,
no, exactly.
No, 100%. I feel like we didn't do well. I mean, we did dig the AI really bad there, but it's all right. Hopefully they won't listen to this podcast. They will. They listen to everything, don't they? Be right. Right. Well, let's get into the podcast then before AI comes for us all. So, what has been your Strongwoman high, Sheridan?
Oh, there's just been loads. Again, something I've been thinking about all day in preparation for this. What is my high or my highest high? I've narrowed it down to 2.
Nice.
So the first of which was qualifying for World's Strongest Woman in 2021.
Hell yeah.
That was massive. Like I chose not to go and do it because it was 2021. It was in Florida and it was like peak COVID. And I did not want to put myself through the stress of working out, traveling there, and all that nonsense with everything that was going on at the time. But it was amazing just to qualify for it. I was over the moon. Like I framed my invitation. It is sat on my cabinet downstairs in the dining room. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Because anybody who's gone through the qualifiers online will know that oftentimes they're quite challenging to get those numbers. And sometimes it's a bit of a game. You put in your early lifts, you have a look and see what other people are doing. Or maybe I'll increase this one. I'll stick this second video up to try and keep your reserves and keep some energy in the tank for whatever else you might have going on at the time. So that was pretty cool getting that. And the second one's actually really, really early into me training Strongwoman. I royally fucked my back, just poorly executing a lift. It was entirely my own fault, but I really, really did a number on it. It was so bad that I couldn't twist my torso, so driving was really quite dangerous because I couldn't check my blind spots or anything like that. And it took me months and months and months to recover from it. And at the time, I was deadlifting, I think, 150 for a single at the time because it was really early. And I had to strip the bar down to like, I don't know, a 5 either side, so 30 kilograms. And then Luke, who was training at the time, Luke Davis, would only let me go up by 2.5 kilograms a week.
Oh, God.
It was a proper slog. But the high in that, obviously that's quite low. The high in that was after a shitload of recovery, I came back stronger than ever, hit my 150 again, and then within the same session, like went doughy-eyed at Luke, like I just go to 155. Did that and just continued to go to strength. And I love it because it was a lesson in perseverance and putting your mind to something from, being on the back foot and working through it, through adversity and achieving something far greater at the other side of it, which is, I think, is a lesson in life in general. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I love that was almost a Strongwoman low, but then you're like, no, it's a high.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. I had a similar thing, like, because I started end of 2019 training, And at the beginning of 2020, I pulled my back doing a 120 deadlift, and that I was meant to be doing for a set of 10. And I was out in the barn, did it wrong. And that was it. Like, I couldn't walk properly for like 3 days. It was a
Yeah.
nightmare. But the build up back from that, like, I mean, I've always had a gammy back. Like, I'm not going to say like that I've recovered now. I've just been amazing since then. Like, I have gammy back all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that whole rewarding of like actually going through an injury, rehabbing it, and getting back to that point and being like, fuck yeah, like
Yeah.
absolutely beasted that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's a fantastic feeling, and yeah, walking out the other side of it is just you're on top of the world.
Hell
So
yeah. I
yeah.
also like as well, you mentioning the world's qualifying spot because do you know what? I feel like people really undersell themselves on these like
Mm.
qualifying, like especially like the online qualifiers and stuff like that. People are like, well, like it's just a case of like getting it done and all this. Nah,
Mm.
like just to be invited to Worlds. Yeah, all right. A lot of people get invited to Worlds and it's a big competition, but it's the biggest competition in the world. Like it is
Yeah,
the actual world's strongest. So it is a flex to get invited to that level. It's fucking
I
cool
think
as.
so. Yeah, like if you're somebody who puts the work in and you've achieved that invite, it doesn't matter how many other people have got invited. You put the work in where other people might not have. You got the invite.
Yeah.
You've applied yourself to something great, and it's an amazing flex to say, I have an invite to Worlds. Oh, Kaya's joined us.
I thought that was Kaya, just having a little sneaky peek in the corner.
Hey, baby girl.
Oh, the
Uh,
baby.
yeah,
She's so cute. So
she is
cute. We
very cute.
love a little dog cameo on this podcast. Not of mine, because they're just crashing this room like a fucking tornado, but
Yeah.
what a
I don't
nice
know where
normal dog.
I don't know where the other ones are. There's nothing wrong with tornado dogs. Love a tornado dog.
Don't know, like when you're trying to get out of a door in the house and there's like 6 of them battling in front of you, I tell you what, it fucking pisses me off. I'm like, I
Yeah,
can't open the door if you stood in front of it, and all of them just look at me
yeah.
like, what? What do you mean?
Do you know, I can only imagine. Like, I've got two, obviously. There's Kaya and the other one, Max. He's downstairs, I think. And they do the same. So when I come through the front door, both of them are there, like, hiya. How are you?
Yeah.
How are you doing? We've missed you very much. Like, can I get in the house, please?
Yeah, it's just a bloody nightmare. My worst one is because I feed all of mine on a night time. We've gone real off track here, but when it's dogs in it, everyone likes
Yeah,
dogs, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah, when I let mine out on a night time, because I feed them on a night, so they get dead excited for the tea on a night time.
yeah.
But I like, as I'm going out to let them out for like final wheeze and poos and stuff, I'll try and get through. My front door is like a door, but then about 3 foot away, there's another door that goes into like the hallway. So I have to try and open the hallway door with 6 dogs in this tiny little corridor, and then
Mm.
open the actual front door. And when I open the front door, every single time, I've never managed to do it yet, they will drag the door out of my hand and the door like slams open and they all go rushing out, and like honestly anything I put behind that door gets smashed to pieces. If I wanted to break
Ah.
something, I would leave it behind there because it gets absolutely smashed. At some point that door's just going to fall off its hinges and be like, I'm done now. I'm fucking sick
Yeah.
of this shit. Like it's too intense, and it's always like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, it's too intense at this time of night,
Too
guys.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
chill
need to be
chill
like
it down
this.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bedtime. But yeah, people would say feed them earlier, but no. No, because that'll just
No.
mean that they're crazy earlier in the day. I'll keep
Yeah.
all the crazy for the nighttime. Right, real off track there, real off track. But
I love it
I,
though.
I wanted to talk to you as well because one of my first competitions is where I met you at Preston's Strongest Woman.
Oh, yeah, it's at Chaos.
2021? One?
That sounds roughly about right when I first met you. I'd
I
not been.
think it is
Yeah, I think it was
because
2020. Yeah, no, I think you're
yeah, it
right.
must be.
I think it was. Yeah.
It
Back
must
when
be,
you
yeah.
had a lot more hair than you do now.
So
I
much more
remember
hair.
it looked like what's that Pixar film with the girl who with the bow and arrow from Scotland?
Merida, yeah, I got
Yeah,
that a lot then,
yeah.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. It was a really good comp that. That was the first competition that I ever weight cutted for because it was an under
Oh
82,
wow.
wasn't it? But then there
Yeah,
was only me and you that were actually in the under 82s.
yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, it was.
And I nearly died cutting that weight because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like a novice, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to cut some weight, me. I think I only did
Yeah.
about a 2 kilo water cut, and I genuinely thought I was going to die. And I said at that point, never again. And that's why I was an open all the way through 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great fun competition, wasn't it? Was it? And
Yeah.
Molly beat us all, didn't she?
God, your memory's far better than me. I'll tell you what I remember. I remember meeting you. I remember having a really good time. And that's it, basically.
Nothing else. No point
I
asking
have
you about
such
that
a
then.
shit memory, honestly.
No, see, I remember there was me, you, Molly, and I think Andrea Seed, and I think that was Naomi
And
Hadley.
oh, okay, but Naomi Hadley and Andrew C would have been in the Opens.
Yes.
They weren't in the 82s. Yeah. Okay.
No. Yeah, I'm sure there were. Yeah, I'm sure there were. Yeah, there was only that was all that there was.
Oh, was that the one where our weight classes was smushed together because there were so few of us in? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one.
I
Yeah, that
remember.
was the
Yeah.
one. I think it was
Yeah.
it was either my second or third competition, that one, because I remember being absolutely shit scared. I was like, oh
Mm.
my God. I got there and there was like all of you guys, and I was like, I'm so fucked here. But it was proper good fun. It's the first time I ever did a monster dumbbell as well. That
Yeah.
horrible pink one that they've got at Chaos. And yeah, I hated
Oh,
that.
I think I do remember that comp now.
I'll
Now
just keep
you
feeding you
said that.
information until you remember
No, I
it.
do, because I'm pretty sure. I think that was the one that my parents came to see. They've only ever seen me compete once, and I'm pretty sure that's the one they came to because I have a picture of me pressing that pink monster dumbbell, um, and my mum was all gushing and what have you, like mums do. But I remember that specifically because afterwards it struck a chord with my mum, and that's when she finally stopped begging me for grandchildren because she realised that my life was not that.
Yeah. She's like, can't see how
So,
kids are going to fit into this. Nah.
yeah, it's like, oh, you are actually really passionate about your life as it is. Like, yeah, mum, yeah.
What a turning point there. What a turning pointer.
I mean, if that's what did it, I'm happy. So.
A memorable comp for many reasons then, really.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Class. Yeah, it was I enjoyed it, mate. I had a fucking great time. It was a good fun comp. That was back in the day when we were all just loving being in car parks and enjoying ourselves and doing stupid shit. Pretty sure entry was like 30 quid or something, like the good old days.
Oh, God, it does proper feel like the good old OG crew days, doesn't it?
It
In
does,
some
but
ways.
and terrifying because realistically, that was 4 years ago.
Just that's frightening. But
Because
then
it feels like a lifetime ago.
it does. But then I suppose that's a reflection of how quickly things have progressed, and progress is good, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. It's wild how much it's changed, isn't it? But
Yeah.
right, well, let's move on from reminiscing then. So we'll do what have been your Strongwoman lows then?
This was a really tough one because I couldn't think of any. Like obviously you have bad training days. Everybody has bad training days. And I always like there's the back issue, but I turned that into a positive because really it was.
Yeah.
So really the only thing I can think of is farmers. Fucking hate farmers. Like I detest them. I just know. But as a result of that, I ended up getting real good because I needed them to be over with as quickly as humanly possible. So because of that, I got really rapid.
Yeah.
Just because I hated them so much.
What did you hate so much about them?
I didn't like the ununiformity of the weight in either side. Like although the weight was the same in each hand, it just didn't feel comfortable. Like I preferred yoke because the yoke is kind of sat centrally on your back and it felt easier to manage. But having them kind of in ech hand, like I really didn't like it. And in addition to that, the I can't remember, posts bits that you put the weights on the front
Yeah.
and back. the ones at the back used to give me like wild arse bruises because my arse used to bang into them all the time and on the handles as well. So whenever I did farmers, I always wore neoprene shorts because it lessened the bruises I got.
Oh God, how
Yeah,
much were these farmers swinging to hit you in the arse, mate? Like, it
I don't
sounds like you're
know.
doing it wrong.
I know, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was just so keen to get them over and done with. I didn't pay much attention to sort of how I was managing them.
Yeah.
But swings and roundabouts, I did get pretty rapid at them because they needed to be over with as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah, that's very fair. I feel like I
Yeah.
sometimes get like bruises on the sides of my legs, but it's all from like having my nails against the inside, like the outsides of my legs from
Yeah.
where I'm holding the farmers, and that isn't great. And also, one pet hate for me is when people put really big plates on small farmers and they
Hmm.
kick you in the back of the legs. That
Yeah.
instantly, I'm like, nah, I'm not a fan. I'd rather have massive long farmers that aren't
Hmm.
going to touch my legs at all because
Yeah.
I don't want them touching them. So I'm sort of with you on that one.
Yeah. The worst ones for farmers and injuries was we had some for a little while at the gym where the handles were bolted on. Um, and the nut on the outside was fine, or on one side of it was fine, but then the screw as it came through was like really sharp. So if you had that pointing inwards towards your legs, it used to rip your legs to shreds. So you used to, before you
Oh,
set off, have to make sure that the top of the nut was facing inwards. Otherwise, like it
oh,
was a proper bloody affair.
oh God. The joys
Yeah,
of Strongman, innit? It's
I
the
know,
joys of
right? Yeah,
Strongman.
we had a
People
great time.
making their own. Yeah, love it. That's why we're still doing it. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that does move us on to why, if you're happy to talk about it, you obviously don't
Yeah.
have to, but if you're happy to talk about why you're currently on a little break.
It just stops being as much fun for a bit. Um, so my last competition was, I think it was UKNS England's like finals in like the end of 2022, I think it was,
Yeah,
possibly. It was held at GBA in Scotland in Leith. Great gym. I really liked going up there. But yeah, I just had a lot of shit going on, like family wise at the time. Like there were a few like close family members who'd been diagnosed with cancer.
yeah,
So there was a lot of that kind of going on at the back of my mind. And whether you want it to or not, that impacts your competing, that impacts your training, that it just impacts everything. I mean, fortunately, everybody got treated and they're out the other side of it. But at the time, it was a lot to kind of juggle mentally. I mean, you know what it's like training for competitions and stuff. You kind of had to be mentally in the game as well.
yeah,
And I wanted to shift my career a little bit at the time. So I mentioned I've been in software for 10 years, but like there's so many different areas you can go. And I wanted to put some effort into enhancing my career as well. So I decided to step away from competing and that just whole arena, just to free up headspace so I could, be present for myself and my family and uh, you know, put some energy into the thing that pays the bills and
yeah,
progress career wise. So yeah, that all went well. The plan worked out. I gave myself that headspace. I kept training, but it was more for kind of mental and physical health than it was for competing.
yeah,
And that's gone well. So yeah, but like I said, everybody's sort of out the other side of stuff, and my career's gone really well. I'm dead pleased with the way that's gone, and the effort's really paid off. So I keep umming and ahhing about going back, but I don't know in what shape. Because I
yeah,
feel like I'm getting closer to the time now where I'm thinking, actually, yeah, I could I could see myself doing it again. But I don't know what shape that's going to be in. So I don't know if I kind of want to put my toe in the water with something like a push pull, get a flavour for it again, see if it's something that realistically I want to like pour myself back into because it's a lot of work, obviously,
yeah.
and sort of go from there. But yeah, that's why I stepped away from it, just to give myself that headspace to focus on other things.
Fair, totally fair. I understand that completely because I've sort of had, well, I've had pretty much a bit of a break for this entire year. I haven't, the stuff I have done, I haven't done very well at. Like, I've just like meandered through. But I think it's a very
Mm.
big point to make that competitions and competition prep, you have to be like to a level quite selfish because you
Yeah.
have to prioritize that training time, and you have to prioritize, like, obviously going away for weekends, or if you're going to go and train at different gyms to use different kit, like factoring in time for that. And
Yeah.
it does get talked about, but I don't think enough, like, there's enough sort of like, especially as you get further into the sport as well. Like me and you've been in it for quite a while now. At some point you can just sort of go, "Oh, do you know what? I'll just take a step back." Like, even if a couple of months, couple of years, it doesn't really matter because the sport's still gonna be there. Like you're
Yeah.
finding now. If anything, there's probably more variety now in choice of coming back than you'd ever had before. So the world's
Hmm.
basically your oyster now, isn't it, in strongman?
Absolutely, yeah, it is. And I've lost touch with, I think, most people. I still speak to most people in the strongman world, so it really wouldn't be hard for me to get back into it at all. Like I could have a coach tomorrow
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
help me do that. And, I'm fortunate that there's areas pretty near me to go and train. I think I could go back to Chaos in Preston, or I could go to there's one in Blackpool now. Um, I'm sure there's not. Probably a bit further afield I could travel as well. I can't remember off the top of my head now where's closest after that. But anyway, there are
Yeah.
options. Some things I could even train at the gym where I'm at now. It's more of a kind of a bodybuilding gym where I'm at now, but they've got a phenomenal range of kit. Some of the more niche stuff I'd have to travel elsewhere for, but I can do it. So it's just a case of deciding again what shape do I want that to take. Um, Certainly for dipping my toe back in and whatnot, and yeah, when?
Hell yeah. What about the little UKNS England's
Yeah.
in February?
Ju-
Wanna come?
just dive head first into it. Yeah. My first ever competition was a qualifier for uh oh gosh, what was it? It was the one that was run by CA 100 events or whatever it was.
Oh, 100% CA, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. It was a qualifier for some like regional. It was a regional qualifier for some England's comp or whatever. It was my first ever competition.
Class.
Yeah.
Absolutely class, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of women did that, like, a lot of women do that as well, like, just jump into, like, regional qualifiers, and especially at
Mm,
that time, like, sort of you're only talking 4, 5, 6 years ago, there wasn't loads of comps out and about, like, you didn't really
no.
have a lot of options, like, you sort of were hard pushed, especially if you had a time frame in mind of when you wanted to compete, like, you were just gonna have to do what's there, what's available, which was unfortunately 100% CA.
Yeah, exactly. There was a
Sorry.
monopoly, and a monopoly is never good, is it? Because you find frequently, and I don't want to say names or examples, but just generally with any monopoly in any industry, anywhere in the world, it's never a positive thing because there's a lot of rigidity. It's a lot of what I say goes. It's a lot of I don't care what you think because I don't agree, and there's very frequently no room for movement. Whereas now, because we have so many options, suddenly the thought process is, oh, well, I have to listen to people because if I don't,
Yeah,
then I'm not going to draw a crowd and nobody's going to come to my events. So there's far more effort now in making your events and your products or whatever else more appealing by actually listening to people. So it's definitely gone in a very positive direction, I think.
absolutely. I totally agree, and it's a really interesting, like, concept and change within the sport of, like, because for me, when like we first started, you sort of beheld to the old man strongman promoter who's going to say, "Don't behave like a diva. You're going to do this. We're going to do that. If we want to change events last minute, we're going to do that anyway."
Mm,
Because none of us really had a choice, and even if you did say you didn't like it, you were just sort of like tarnished as like a bit of a problem and someone who's going to be a bit of an issue to deal with. Whereas
and
now, like,
yeah,
you can say
yeah,
whatever the fuck you want, really. Like, I chat shit all the time, and I mean,
yeah,
still probably classed as a problem, but like people do listen, and but I do think
yeah,
that's made sort of like a gateway for much better comp promoters to come through
yeah,
and sort of go, right, well, no, we're going to do this properly, and we're going to build this in a much better way.
yeah,
And it has meant that the standard of competitions has like massively increased over the last few
yeah.
years as well.
Yeah, massively. Totally agree with everything you've said. And yeah, I've been there as well in multiple scenarios where I've spoken up because I'm not shy about telling people when I think they're talking bollocks. Obviously with reasons to back it up. Like I don't just say it for shits and giggles or to be a dick. I just point out when I think something's wrong or unjust or whatever, and it labels you as a problem.
Yep, absolutely,
So I don't
100%.
care. So yeah.
I've been blacklisted from enough federations now to know that I am definitely that problem person. But
Is it?
a lot of them federations don't really exist anymore, so
Yeah.
who's winning now?
Yeah.
Fuck them. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, we'll get off our high horse. There's a bit anti-establishment there, but it's all part of Strongman, isn't it? All part
Yeah.
of the fun and games, isn't it?
It is.
Absolutely. Right, well, let's move on then. So, what would you say to yourself then when you first started the sport?
I'd say remember it's a hobby. Because I think sometimes it can be very easy for it to become a little too all-consuming.
Yeah.
Like it's fun, and I think you should pour as much as yourself into your passion as you want. You know, it's your life. Do whatever makes you happy. Always. But I think it's important to be self-aware enough to not allow that to be at the expense of other things that might be important in your life as well. I think sometimes you can walk a bit of a fine line, and you need to kind of check yourself a little bit. Like when I decided to step away from competing, there was a little part of me that thought, "Who am I? Why did I
Yeah.
start doing this? What the fuck? Who am I as a person? What are my other hobbies again?"
Yeah.
Because it's just been left by the wayside at that point for at least 5 years, 6 years. So yeah, I'd say just be self-aware enough to not allow that to happen, because it doesn't pay the bills. And yes, it's important to go out and achieve things and be proud of what you achieve and say pour your heart and soul into your passions. But don't let that be at the expense of other things that might be important in your life and other things that make up who you are as a person, because you are more than just a deadlift
Yeah.
or whatever.
100%. No, I totally agree. And I think as well, that is one of the main reasons that people burn out in this sport so quickly is
Hmm.
because it is all encompassing. And like, there's no denying that people get into this sport and it just takes over your life. Like, it is part and parcel of it. Like, and that's a good thing, but on the other side of that, it can also be a bad thing. Like, I've got to points in this sport where I'm like, I don't know, like when my bicep came off, I genuinely was like, this is the end of my life. Like, oh my
Mm,
God, I'm going to die. And I was like, you've literally had like an injury that's going to take 12 weeks to rehab, mate. It's not that big of a
yeah,
deal.
yeah,
But for me, at that moment in time, I was like, well, that's the end of my
yeah,
career. See you later. I'll never be able to do this again.
yeah. But then you realize just how far deep into it you are when you have that realization.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you pulled yourself back from it, which is cool. You were self-aware enough to recognize that. Like, okay, you have a little bit of a meltdown, and I think that's fine, absolutely fine, especially when you've detached a bicep. um, but yeah, you pull yourself back from it, and it's being able to be self-aware and respond as you need to when you need to, but then be able to dial it back and go, okay, right, I've had my moment. Let's
Yeah.
let's assess.
I think, to be honest, I think I had the realization then and there about it when I'd had my bicep off and I realized like what I was dealing with. But then I also think there's a little part of me that really didn't really realize how bad I was in it, because my immediate reaction was, right, when can I start training? Like, I'm going to start training, I'm going to book comps. And to be honest, since that bicep off, I don't feel like I've performed particularly well at anything I've done since then. Like, I genuinely believe that I sort of rushed myself too much to get back into it. And now, like this year especially, I think I've got to a point where I'm like, you need to really like reassess and really think about what you're doing and like how much this sport is taking over your life, and treat it as an actual hobby instead
Mm,
of like my job. I think as well, because I've been a student for like quite a while and I haven't really had like an official job, that this has sort of filled a gap for me where it's been like,
mm,
this could be a job. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this now. And I'm like, oh no, this isn't a
yeah,
real job.
yeah,
I'm still not getting paid. Oh no. And
yeah.
I think that realization this year has definitely changed how I'm approaching stuff for next year. So like, I want to do the pathways next year. but I am fully like ingrained. I'm doing 6 to 8 week preps, nothing more than that. I'm going to go there and enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, I will just not do it. Like,
Yeah. Life's too
so
short. It
yeah,
really is.
exactly.
Yeah.
100% it is. And no one really cares whether you do these things or not either. Like, I pulled out
Mm.
of Europe's this year, and yeah, a few people were like, oh, it's sad, like, that you're not doing it, blah, blah, blah. But there was nothing of like substance behind that. That was just people trying to sympathize with me.
Yeah.
That wasn't like people genuinely disappointed or anything. That was just people trying to be nice to me. And I
Saying
think
the
that
expected
realization,
thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That realization was like, well, actually, no one fucking cares whether I do it or not. So, like, if I'm not enjoying it, why am I doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, it has to come from you. You know,
Yeah,
nobody else. So, yeah.
100%. Do you feel like you have any sort of like concern coming back into the sport then after like having a couple of years out? Do you have any like fears, concerns, any things you're quite worried about, or
I wouldn't say worried, because I'm not like that kind of shit. Don't like I'm not worried necessarily about anything or apprehensive. I am aware, however, that like we've mentioned earlier, the sport has progressed, and with that, the athletes have progressed. So if I decided to come back, or when I decide to come back, um, I suppose there's an element of me thinking I'm probably going to have to do some catching up again, because my training style has been quite different for a little while. So it'll be getting my body to readjust to more compound movements again and more kind of functional movements again, from what I've been doing. And then once that hurdle's over with, catching up to where my peers are in my weight class potentially. So I'm not worried about it, but I'm aware that that's going to be something that I need to address.
yeah,
Because I'm not weak or anything. Like I've maintained my strength training, and I'm really proud of what I continue to do. But yeah, I'm not competing with the 82s level at the moment anymore. So yeah, there'd be that kind of readjustment and reintegration for me.
yeah, yeah, mate. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm competing with the 82s, and I'm meant to be like a current athlete, and I don't think I'm
Yeah.
anywhere near the fucking standard. The one thing I've got is a decent overhead, and even that I haven't done for fucking months. So
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. And I think as well, like for me, I know that in the next sort of 5-10 years, there's no way I'm going to be hitting those podiums anymore. No
Mm.
way. That, especially say like your OSG levels are going to be so out of reach because of how fast the sport's grown in this 5 years. The next
Yeah.
5 years, like 5 years ago, a 300 kilo deadlift was like out of this world. Now there's what, 5-6 women who've pulled it.
Yeah.
What's next? Like,
It's incredible to see. Like it's absolutely amazing to see, but it does. Yeah. Like if it's not your world, you are increasingly further on the back foot, I guess. Uh, but like it's amazing to see. But you're right. I mean, you might still podium. You know, you don't have to be with the 82s. But you
I
can,
can't go
go
any
into
lower. I'll
masters.
die.
Oh, masters,
Fuck,
masters.
fucking hell, mate. I've got 10
Yeah.
years. I'm only just going to turn 30 next week. I've got 10 years to wait. These
Oh, that's a
very
fair
old
point,
looks,
actually. Yeah.
they give me away. I'm younger than I look,
I'd forgotten how many years you
unfortunately.
said, to be fair. So yeah.
Yeah, I've
No,
got fucking years left for masters. Yeah, no, it's
thinking of myself,
shit.
actually, I'm closer. What's masters? Is it 40?
40.
Right, yeah, I'm closer to masters.
Oh, how many years have you got?
I'm 37.
Oh, I've only got
So
3 years.
yeah,
Little 3-year rebuild into the Masters. See you
yeah.
there.
But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I might stay with the 82s for as long as I feel I'm capable of keeping up, and then do
Hell yeah.
masters. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I feel like now I'm in the 82s. The only way I would come out of the 82s now is if I either magically got so much better at deadlift overnight, or they introduced an under 91 or an under 90s class, and then I'd probably be like, see you later, 82s. I can't be asked for
Yeah.
this.
Do you think they would do an under 90s class? I feel like they've kind of settled on the classes we've got now, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think the only way that they would do an under 90s class is if the under 120s takes off in the men's, which I think it probably will. Because if I'm not sure if I'm right on this, but I think that the under 120s is at OSG this year. Maybe I might not
Nice.
be right
Okay.
about that. But I do. The under 120s has grown really, really well, and I think with that, they might look at doing the under 90s, under 91s for the women's, which I think you'd fill it straight away. But
Yeah.
then you're always running the risk of having way too many classes, and like no one takes it seriously anyway, do they? So like you add more
Yeah.
classes, then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I'm world's strongest woman in the under 91s. Everyone's like, yeah, but it's not real though, is it? And you're like,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's
You're right. I think. Yeah. They are gonna have to cap it, aren't they?
you're gonna have to stop because otherwise it's just gonna get out of control. It's gonna be like powerlifting where there's one for every 2 kilo incremental weight jump, isn't there?
Oh God, I had a look at that when I was talking about the shape in which I might come back. I did look at powerlifting. I very quickly dismissed it, but that was the one that's something that I noticed. I was like, bloody hell, how many categories are there?
Way too many, way too
Yeah.
many. And I sort of get it because it's like more based on dots and it's the same movements each
Yeah.
time. So like body weight is going to play into it a little bit more, but also it creates me not caring as much because there's too many weight classes and I'm just
Yeah.
not interested in that increment of a difference is not enough for
Yeah.
me.
I think it makes it harder to really keep up with it. And to some degree maybe makes it inaccessible for fans of the sport as well.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
makes it
which
a
one are
bit
you gonna watch?
convoluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I don't
totally
know.
agree. No, I think I do quite like just having like lightweight, middleweight, open weight for strongman. I think it's fairly fair-ish to a level.
Mm,
But I think for the sake of the sport, while it's still a niche sport, keeping it as simple as possible is probably the best way.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, my biggest flex is that I won World's Strongest Woman in the Natties in 2023. And literally, if ever I mention it now and I'm like, oh, yeah, I was once World's Strongest Woman, people are like, oh, yeah, and what category what category? Oh, was it
Yeah.
the tested? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not very good, that. And I'm like,
Oh
burn.
man, I hate that. I hate that so much. Like it's tested is seen as a lesser than untested.
Oh, big time. This has been
Like,
a pretty big debate. I'm going to do a podcast at some point with Chloe about it because my views have big changed on PED use. So I was always under the impression that I'd give anything a go. I'd try it if I needed to, if I felt like I'd got to that point. And this year I've sort of had a little bit of change of heart where I've gone, actually, personally, this isn't ever going to be for me.
mm,
And I'm not going to go down that route, which I know is a shock and people already think I'm on it, but I'm not. My voice is just naturally this deep. I've always had a man voice. Listen to videos of me 10 years ago. I sound exactly the fucking same. So yeah, I do think
mm,
like personally, it's not for me, not against anyone else doing it, but
mm.
yeah, I do think the shift, this is the weirdest sport ever because this is the only sport where if you don't take drugs, it's not cool.
It's such a weird vibe. Like you, I'm not on PEDs. Don't want to be on PEDs. If or somebody else does, fine, whatever. You know, if you wanna, it's a tool that people use within the sport, and if you want to use it, you know, go for your life. Just do so sensibly and don't kill yourself, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not for me at all. I would, aside from the fact that I'd be messing with my hormones, which freaks me out anyway, because I think I'm quite sensitive to my hormonal changes through my menstrual cycle, and the idea of messing with that is just it's just a fat no for me. Like I couldn't just no. Like as case in point as well, I tried very briefly. It was a flash in the pan attempt at seeing what I'd be like in a bodybuilding uh, kind of attempt. I lasted 12 weeks.
That's pretty good going, that, to be fair, though.
I didn't like it. I was in a bulk as well, and I hated it. I hated how I felt, my body. There was a huge shift in how my body managed my weight, and there was a hormone shift in that. It was just dreadful, and the idea of adding PEDs to that is just it's just not for me. But outside of that, I wouldn't be able to help but feel that I didn't achieve it. Like, it just
Yeah.
means so much more to me if I know I did it off entirely my own steam. And
Yeah.
it's not to say that people on PEDs don't, because they work incredibly hard. Like, some of the most hardworking athletes I know are on some kind of gear to some degree or another. And you can't take their achievements away from them because they are so hardworking.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, like, I couldn't get over that. For me, it's too much assistance, I think, personally.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I've a different viewpoint to that, where I don't really feel like it's more of an assistance, and I don't feel like if I did take PEDs, I would still feel like I had achieved what I had done,
Mm.
but like, obviously you get an assistance, but I still think I would feel like I'd done well on that and had made those decisions
Ah,
based on the goals that I wanted to have.
yeah.
But I think my view is more the goals that I want to get to. I don't think the risks of taking PEDs for my health is worth it. Like, so
Mhm.
I'm sort of on the other side of it, where I'm already quite concerned about virilization because, like, I already look like a man. So I just don't want any more of that. And I think
Yeah.
as well, seeing more and more people year on year on year have heart problems, heart attacks at younger
Yeah.
and younger ages makes me think my biggest concern would be if I took that and then I had a heart attack and I was like, you fucking idiot. You knew that was going to
Mm.
happen. You've
Yeah.
done it to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
now you're going to have to live with this for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, and I do share everything that you've just shared as well. Again, harking back to, hormone levels and fucking with them. There's far-reaching implications to your health on that, and it's just not worth it for some bling. Um, at the
Well,
end
at
of the
the end
day.
of the day, what's the best that you can win? What's the best that you can win? Like, yeah, all right, we've got the Rogue now, which is like you're winning 100 grand. Is 100 grand going that far? Is
Well,
100
no.
grand going to be worth a heart attack? If someone said to you, I'll give
Yeah.
you 100 grand if you have a heart attack, would you do it? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't, you know.
But
It's not worth it. And
again,
you're
that's
right, that is.
personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah, and that has to be the primary reason, and it is the primary reason. Yeah, there's just this, like I said, there's this little niggle in the back of my head that would say you've had too much assistance. Like, you've achieved something and be proud of it, but also you had assistance. And, like, then I
Yeah.
think, well, where do you draw the line then, Sheridan? What about wrist wraps? And obviously, there's lots of levels of invasiveness, which is how I justify it in my head.
Yeah, 100%. But
But
I think that's a very commonly shared viewpoint and like
yeah.
view from Strongwoman as well. I've just been this afternoon, so I'm doing my masters now in strength and conditioning. So I went and did like my dissertation talk with me supervisor and stuff the other day. And he was sort of saying, "What are you thinking?" And I really want to do my dissertation on like the prevalence of PED use in Strongwoman specifically, because I just think there's no information out there at all. There is actually a few studies on Strongwomen, and there is a study based on Strongwoman's views on PED use, which I read today. And it's super interesting, like the different viewpoints. I think it's limited because it was only based on, I think, 23 athletes that were interviewed. So it is quite limited, but like I do think the viewpoints in Strongwoman are crazy. And that was only published last year. And they were
Mm,
sort of speaking about this level, I can't remember what the exact wording was, but level of secrecy that obviously women in strength sports don't discuss PEDs. And again, this was like another reason for this podcast. One of the first episodes, and probably one of the biggest episodes we ever did, was me and Jenny openly discussing her using PEDs and like how we felt
mm,
about it. So I think there is space for that. And I do think that's getting better and better with more women speaking about it and about their views and their opinions and stuff around it. But I do think there's space in there to find out a little bit more. And I just think it'd be interesting to know, like, how many of us are on PEDs and like what are people's thoughts around taking PEDs? Like, do we think it's cheating in a
mm,
sport that is technically untested and unregulated? Is it
yeah.
cheating? Is it
Well,
not? Like,
technically, it's not, is it? If it's an untested sport and you're using a tool to achieve whatever, it's not cheating. If it's not
yeah,
in the rule book as, this is cheating if you do X, Y, Z, then it isn't. It's as black and white as that.
yeah,
I suppose, rather than hard and fast black and white, is it cheating? I guess it comes down to, I don't know, is it more of a moral standpoint? Or maybe not necessarily moral, but maybe closer to that side of the thought process. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is where it was interesting because the research that I'd read today was sort of saying that at like novice and intermediate level, well, at novice especially, there's a much more black and white understanding of like, yes, taking PEDs is cheating, like, and that's the way of the world. People are sort of like a naive idea, but even then, I don't feel like when I first came into the sport, I sort of knew everyone was taking PEDs. Like, I didn't understand it, I didn't know anything about it, but I knew that the elite level of the sport was taking PEDs, and I knew that that wasn't cheating because no one was testing them for it. But it was it was sort of showing the way that the viewpoint changes as you go through and get into like a more intermediate or elite level, how that then very much changes, and it doesn't. You don't see it as black and white cheating anymore. You see it as more of, like you said, a moral dilemma of like, well, it's sort of what you think of taking PEDs, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think it'd be really cool if you did do that for your project.
I do as well. I'm just gonna have to fight
Yeah.
Teesside Uni to the death to let me do it. I
Yeah.
think
It would be good. I think it would do the community a lot of good as well, because it would open up that discussion. It would facilitate more sharing of information so that people could make more informed choices, because then you could start talking about, well, if I do want to go down this road, what are the side effects? How should I approach it? Where do I get my gear from? You know,
Yeah.
what's the dosage? What's right for me? Who can I get support from? Who can do my bloods? You know, all that kind of stuff, so it can be approached safely.
Yeah.
And you know, you get fewer people with heart conditions and whatever else. Because I don't know enough about it really. Like not enough of us do. So it's really hard to make an informed judgment or decision. I know it's not right for me, and I know how I feel about taking PEDs or not taking PEDs. But it wouldn't be right for me or anyone else to cast that on, you know, somebody else's life choices and decisions.
Yeah.
So
100%. There's just not the research around it. Like, even if you do spend your time, like I've spent a lot of time researching PEDs because at one point, like last year, I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to make the decision and I'm going to do it. And I spent loads of time looking into stuff and sort of trying to work out what I wanted to do. And one, I was horrified by the lack of research. Like, there's pretty much none in women at all. And two, like, yeah, there's mentions of side effects and stuff, but a lot of this is all just like what people have said. Like,
yeah,
there's
just
no
anecdotal.
studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anecdotal at
So,
the best. Like, it's
yeah.
not actual evidence of what it's doing to your body. So realistically, do we understand exactly what it's doing? Like the full repercussions of it? Probably not. Like, and we won't know about that until it become like it's ethical enough for them to do research on that. Which, I
Yeah.
mean, will it ever get to that point?
I
Nobody
think it
knows.
will. If the prevalence of it remains where it is, and untested strength sports like strongman, you know, continue, I think it would be kind of a sensible and logical direction to kind of go in. I guess it's just resources, because strongman is quite a niche sport, so you know that kind of shit costs
Yeah.
money to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no shock in, you know, there being such a lack of research, and even less of a shock that in women in particular there's not enough research, because that's just case in point for freaking anything
Yeah. Welcome to
concerning
being a
women.
woman.
Yeah. Well, oh, I wonder what perimenopause is. Oh, look at that. Nobody talks about it.
Nobody knows anything because we've only
Nobody
done
knows
research for
anything.
the past 20 years
Nobody
on it
knows anything.
anyway, even though
You
well,
know.
the women have been there the entire
Yeah.
time, but we've only
Yeah.
researched them for the last like 20 years or so because like
Yeah.
we didn't want to before that. Fuck them.
Yeah. But you know, I can access, you know, hundreds of papers on penis medication and problems, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? It's so stupid. So
Yeah.
stupid. That's a whole other topic of conversation
It
we
is.
could go into, but
Yeah.
that went nicely off track though. We got real serious
Massively,
there for a minute.
didn't it? Yeah.
I've just had a look at the time and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, sorry.
But yeah.
Kept
No,
you
to
for
conclude,
ages
take PEDs
already.
if you want. It's not cheating. Just do whatever feels good.
Absolutely. And if by the grace of God I've been allowed by Teesside Uni to do this, by the time this podcast is out, it might be that this is happening. So make sure to check the show notes, because if there is a survey, it'll be down below.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Right. Let's stop the serious vibe then and move on to the final part of the podcast, our Silly Goose section.
Silly Goose. It's Silly Goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly Goose. It's Silly Goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's Silly Goose time.
So, we've already had the discussion. I know you don't have a silly goose for the table, unless you've thought of one while we've been talking.
No, I haven't. I'm at your mercy for silly goosing.
That's fine. Well, we've gone very base goose question today, just because I feel like people sometimes are confused as why it's silly goose. But I just think it's silly goose is a vibe, isn't it? But we are going to have a goose-based question today, which is, if geese could talk, what would they complain about the most?
The amount of stale bread they're given. I reckon.
You're not meant to feed geese bread anymore, are you? I heard somewhere rice. You're meant to feed them rice, cooked rice.
Yeah, I think that isn't that true of all birds. You're not meant to give them bread because it's bad for them. I can't remember exactly why though. But yeah,
I think it's to do with it swells, doesn't it, when it's wet?
Yeah, something like that.
Swells in the tummy.
I just remember that bread bad, don't give them it. But they are giving it a lot, and oftentimes it's stale bread because, you know, why waste perfectly good soft bread on birds? Apparently.
That's very fair. To be honest, I just don't even feel like I ever really noticed my bread goes stale. I think I just eat bread regardless.
Yeah.
The only time I would not eat bread is if it's got mold on it. But if it's only little bits, I'll just pick them off.
Yeah, I just pick it off. There's only a little bit there.
It's probably penicillin. It's probably going to be good for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you should take it, and then, you'd be amazing at, stone over yolk. Or something.
Absolutely, yeah. You never know. Like radioactive spider vibes, maybe.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
can't
with
think
you on that.
what else to complain about. Definitely, my mind immediately gravitates towards food if it's given even the slightest chance. So that's where my head went. Because if I was a goose, that's what I'd complain about.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I feel like I would complain about people being scared of me because I feel like geese get bad end of the stick. Like, I've had a lot of geese in my lifetime and I really like them. Like, they're pretty sound. Like, I don't find them aggressive or like confrontational or anything. They're just pretty chill. You just let them do what they want. They do what they want. They're just calm. But like, I feel like people are really scared of geese and make them out to be like the bad guys, and they're nice. They're just chill. So I feel like they complain about that.
I think geese are all right as well. I think they get bad rap, like you said. There's loads of geese. Go on.
No, it's all right. Go on. You follow on with yours.
I say there's because I live in Wharton, quite close to Lytham and St Anne's, and there's a park near me called Fairhaven Lake, and there's loads of geese and swans and what have you around there. I take the dogs around sometimes, and they've just got such sass. I really love them because they're just there and they're like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. And one of the dogs or both of them will be freaked out because of the goose there, and they're all shades of what the fuck is this long next thing. And the goose is there like, what of it, mate? What of it? Well, you're gonna do your little bark and your little, But yeah, I like geese. I think it's is it geese people say, oh, they'll break your arm, but it's totally false. They won't do that. They're not strong enough to do that.
That's swans.
Is it swans?
I feel like I don't like swans as much as I like geese. I think swans are a bit dickheady. I just think they're too big for the boots. I think there's something special. Protected by the Queen, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it won't be the Queen anymore. Does the King own the swans now?
I guess.
I feel like I've had this conversation.
I guess it'll have passed on. It's just, the whoever the Crown Royal is. I guess. Yeah.
It just annoys me. Like, why? Why the swans? Like, yeah, I get they're like nice looking, but they're just big geese.
I've no idea. I would only be hazarding an uneducated guess because I don't know anything about why they're protected.
That's what we like on this podcast.
I
Conspiracy theory of why the swans are protected.
I feel like, and again, my mind's drifting towards food. I feel like it's because it's something to do with having a goose on the table at Christmas. And I'm sure legally, I'm going to use a term tenuously, the royal family are the only ones allowed to have a goose on the table at Christmas, and nobody else are. They're protected by the royal family, maybe.
Yeah, swans. No, I'm sure swans you definitely can't kill. Like, swans you definitely can't kill. Geese you can in certain seasons.
Oh wait, I'm getting my birds mixed up, aren't I? Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking bollocks. No idea.
No, swans definitely are protected.
Yeah.
They are protected by law. Oh, hang on. Today, of course, swans are no longer eaten and are they are a protected species, so you can't eat swans. But why are they so significant? Swan has often been seen as a symbol of wisdom, and it includes awakening of power. Well, that feels like a reason to eat them then. What what's the punishment for killing a swan? Imprisonment and or a fine. Imagine going to prison for killing a swan.
Well, they sent those chaps who cut down that tree at Hadrian's Wall to prison, didn't they? They felled that tree.
They made a rod for their own backs though by doing such a big stunt on it. I think who's that tree hurting? You've just taken it out for no reason. If it was a swan that was continuously attacking me or being knobhead, I feel like I'd have rights to kill that swan. But a tree, what harm's that doing?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Maybe not jail time for a tree, but still, it's because there was just such a big hoo-ha. If the media hadn't got hold of it, they probably wouldn't have gone to jail.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, this is the latest. Go on.
Okay, if you were a goose for the day, what would you do? What would your agenda be if you were a goose for the day?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd like to fly around in that V formation with the other geese just for a bit, just to see whether what is that? Is it just an ingrained goose trait where I'm just going to know which bit to fly in and how fast to fly than for the other geese? I'd just like to understand how that works. So they're talking to each other to tell each other, or is it just it's part of your brain where you just know it's like a social cue of how to fly? That's what I would like to do. That first of all, fly in the V. I would like to do that drop out of the sky and land into water because I just think that looks cool and they're always sick, aren't they? Probably like to try and be aggressive towards a small white dog just because I think that would be funny to do. I'd just like to wind up a small white barky dog. And I think that would cover me for my goose day, to be honest. I'd like to lay some goose eggs and sit on them in a nest because goose nests always look really, really warm and lovely and fluffy. They always look so happy on the little nests.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be my goose things. What would you like to do if you were the goose for a day?
Have you ever played that game called the Untitled Goose Game?
No.
You're missing a trick here, Becca. Have you got a console or a computer that you can play games on?
Yeah, I can. I don't really play a lot of games, but I'm going to try this one because this sounds right up my street.
It's on every available console. It's been out for a little while now. I played it on my Nintendo Switch. It's by a production company called House. They made it, Untitled Goose Game. And you're basically a goose with a to-do list of being a dick for the day.
This sounds great.
You go around different parts of the village and you do things like steal the farmer's keys, setting sprinklers off, stealing fruit out of the local veg stall, frightening a little boy so that he falls into a puddle.
This sounds right up my street.
It's amazing. It's such a fun game. It's a really short game. I think there's off the top of my head, I'm sure there's maybe 4 or 5 areas you go into, and in each area there's maybe 10 things to do or something like that. But yeah, it's good. I would be that goose for the day.
Just causing havoc for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. I'm going to have a look at this game afterwards. I've wrote it down so I can have a little look later because I feel like that would be right up my street. I love stupid stuff like that.
It's good. It should be pretty cheap as well. It was developed by an indie company, pretty small company. It's been out for a while, so should be able to pick it up pretty cheap.
I'll have a look at that. I was just having a look at swan stuff as well while we were talking about that. And one of the top things that came up when I googled about whether the swans are protected still or not is Nigel Farage condemned for falsely accusing Eastern European migrants of eating swans from royal parks.
Oh my gosh, just add it to the list of bullshit that comes out of his mouth.
I'm not big into politics, but that's quite funny, that.
Yeah, I mean...
Of all the things, I just don't think people really care about swans anymore. I know England has a thing at the moment where we're like, everything goes wrong, and what do? You blame the migrants, because like that's just like what we do now, apparently. But I'd eating swans, man, like I just don't think it flies anymore.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, it is what it's it's one of those ridiculous things. Like, why?
Yeah, where's he
like-
got that from? Who's he for? Do you know what'll really rile this British public up? Fucking
Yeah.
tell them they're eating the swans. That'll really piss them off.
Fucking, like, what? Like, there was, I
Quality
can't remember where I heard it, but it's equivalent to something I heard on some TV show where some guy was trying to slander another guy, and to do so, he said something like, "Oh, he eats his own trousers." like it's that level of ridiculous.
It's like child level behaviour. It's like the stuff you hear in the playground, don't you? That fucking kiddo that eats swans, eats swans, fucking weirdo.
Yes, it's exactly this. But I
tell you what, though, the more we talk about it, the more I would like to eat a swan, to be honest. I'd love to see what it tasted like. I don't know whether you can get arrested for saying that, but let's hope not.
I don't think you can get arrested for musing over it. There's a restaurant near me that serve like really like left field kind of meat options, like ostrich is on there, crocodile is on there, and zebra.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Never tried any of it because I wasn't feeling brave enough at the time, but I know it's nearby if I'm feeling adventurous.
See, the only one there that would like be a bit exciting for me, I feel like, would be zebra. But on the other side of that, I feel like that's just going to taste like horse, and horse is pretty shit.
Yeah.
But and I only ate horse in Japan where it's acceptable, so don't fucking come for me before everyone starts.
I'm not. I just wondered if you'd got the horse meat that was apparently in all our beef like 6-7 years ago.
I mean, technically all of us have eaten fucking horse, haven't we? We haven't had a choice, because if you were eating meat from Tesco's, you were eating fucking horse, weren't you? So yeah, no, horse just isn't. There's not enough fat and bone on a horse. Like it's not an eating animal, is it? But I do think swan though, because they don't really do fuck all like geese, and geese are delicious.
I bet it would be like eating duck, because duck is nice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if it's anything like duck and goose, it's going to be tasty as, isn't it? So
it'll be
maybe that's why
they
won't let us eat them, because they know it's going to be too good, and we'll just fucking kill them all, won't we? Because we'll be like, oh, these swans are delicious.
I'll have to find out the rest of this story, but that's reminded me of a story that I've heard somewhere where there was a pioneer went out sailing to discover new land, and they'd found tortoises. So they loaded their ship full of these tortoises to bring back to the country that they'd sailed from. They'd run out of food because there was some travesty on board, and they realized, oh, we'll just eat one of these tortoises, and discovered that they were so incredibly tasty that they'd eaten them all before they got back home, and contributed to a massive population crisis with the turtles, because they realized how amazingly tasty they were, and just hunted them to extinction.
Fucking hell. That's just humans, that, innit? That's just fucking retarded humans. This is why maybe the worlds are onto something by telling us we can't eat the swans, because they know we'd just fuck it up. We'd just eat them all. We'd just be like,
we can't
let's
have a good thing.
Swans. Can't have nice things. No, we can't have nice things. I think that's the general consensus of this podcast. Just can't have nice things, can you?
No.
Oh, well, right. Well, that got real off track. Thanks very much for that one. That was a great silly goose on the fly. Loved it. Right. So where can people find you then if they want to follow along your journey, or anything that you want to plug, then plug it now.
I guess I don't do Facebook. I have a Facebook, but I detest it. So Instagram's the best place to catch me. I have 2 accounts. My lifting, reading of books and general nonsense is Dinotizer, which is DINOTIZER. Or just search for me, Sheridan Irvine. And my other one is my art stuff, which I feel often like a 3-year-old saying, "Hey, look what I drew. Please give me some love and attention." And that's Shazam _art. So SHEZZAM _art ART. Lots of pop art on there at the moment, lots of silly cartoons and random bits. And I'm doing Inktober at the moment, so there's a new drawing on there every day for October.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, I'll tag them both in the show notes below. But thank you very much for being on the podcast, Sheridan. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I do feel that you've scraped to the bottom of the barrel a little bit with having me on, but I've really enjoyed myself. So
Not
thank you very
at
much.
all. Not at all. Everyone's welcome on this podcast, and everyone's got a story, and everyone's got something interesting to say, haven't they? So I appreciate this. Is why we just want everybody's views, everybody's stories, everybody's opinions. So if you're listening now and you think, maybe I should go on that podcast, then send me a message. Get yourself signed up, because it's not as scary as you think. Well, hopefully.
No, it's chill. You should all totally do it. And Becca's awesome. So why wouldn't you want to speak to Becca? So
thanks, mate. In fact, this is why I have my friends on the podcast, because they're nice about me.
Yeah. So
right,
when do I get my payment for that? Oh, sorry, we weren't meant to mention that, were we?
We haven't stopped recording yet. Hang on. We haven't stopped recording yet. Right. Okay, right. Thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you all on the next one. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Strongwoman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/strongwomanhighs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as, but we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strong Woman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strong Woman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strong Woman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!